Crossroads. They are there for all of us. We may move along from day to day, easily walking in the sunshine, enjoying the view and feeling at peace. And then it comes. A crossroad, a choice point, and there we stand, frozen to the spot. Which way now? Right, left, straight. What weighs down each of those choices for us? And which way does our heart call us to go? Which way makes sense? Which is God's way? The answers aren't easy, and crossroads can bring us daunting spiritual pain. They can bring us to our knees, and even bring us to destruction. Today we have an expert on the crossroads of declaration. The Apostle Peter is with us. Peter is famous for his choices. Some he would be proud of, and some he would not. Peter, we seem to know you so well. We hear of you often in the scriptures. It's good to have you with us today.
I am here to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. I am his servant and follower. I think I know why I'm here, and I am not pleased.
No? I thought you would be happy to be among us with your good news.
Yes, certainly, but I suspect you want to focus on a time when I did not make a choice to be proud witness to, a time when I failed.
That's what's puzzling to us, and why we want to look at that event, at a time when you denied Jesus. It seems hard to understand. You were a leader of the disciples, the one who seemed to understand Jesus and what he was doing as Messiah.
I thought I understood. Jesus even complimented me on my bold witness to who he was as God's Messiah. He called me blessed, filled with God's word.
But then, even after you were warned, you denied him 3 times.
If I could go back now and face that crossroad again, I would know what to do. You see, I thought I knew what Jesus was doing. In spite of the times he told us he was going to suffer and die, I still thought that he would be what he hoped he would be. After all, he paraded into the city of Jerusalem in a way that said that he was the coming king. I thought we were on the way to having God's Messiah as the king and ruler we needed. I didn't know what all that talk of suffering was about.
And that's why you could not speak his name when you were in the priest's courtyard.
At that point, everything was going wrong. He wasn't supposed to be arrested. I even tried to fight for him. He wasn't supposed to be on trial. Where was his power? Where were his miracles? Where was his ability to simply walk away when they threatened him? At that point, when they accused me, I saw Jesus failing, and I failed.
Were you afraid?
Afraid? Yes, I guess so, but I was baffled, confused, disappointed, and despair. That's not an excuse, it's just what happened.
You had said that you would even die with him. Didn't you mean that?
That was my quick mouth. Another time I spoke without thinking. I just said that to impress Jesus and the others. I was looking for another compliment. It was important for me to know that Jesus respected me, thought I was worthwhile. I needed him to appreciate me and what I had done for him.
And his warning, didn't you hear his warning?
Jesus said many things I didn't really understand at the time. I guess I just wasn't hearing. It was easy for me, and I assure you for them too, to see myself as a strong in the faith, able to speak the right words, able to be the one to stand up for Jesus, able to witness. But when I was in that situation, I could not choose the path I knew I should choose. I could not say the words I knew I needed to say. It was dark in my spirit at that moment, and I could not see, could not speak.
A terrible time.
More terrible than you can know. Oh, I know that all of us find ourselves at places where we know we should speak the good word. I know what it is like for you. You find yourselves among those who dirty their minds and mouths with words that hurt or shame. I know you find yourselves among those who misuse God's name, act as though his commands don't exist. I know you struggle in your minds with what to say and do in those situations. The questions come. Will my words of faith help? Will they be effective? Won't what I say set me apart make me look foolish, ruin my relationships? Isn't it better to keep quiet or just go along? I know. You may not face a time when your words would put you in danger for your life, but certainly there are times when we all find ourselves at a crossroad that calls on us to boldly speak Jesus' name and God's will, and we fail.
You know us too well. We do not speak the words that we should, when we should.
I guess the best part of my story is that I did not finish my discipleship in tears of failure. Jesus came and found me that day on the beach after he had risen. He loved me enough to call me back after I had turned my back on him. Do you love me? He asked me 3 times. And he sent me to feed his lambs and sheep. And here is the best part. He calls you back too. He does not leave us in our failure. He does not turn away. He is there each day with the forgiveness we need to go on one more day, to face one more test, to stand at one more crossroad. And by his power, the power of his Holy Spirit, to be what he wants us to be and what we want to be.
St. Paul said, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes." That is our affirmation, and that's our calling. We can stand and speak the good news because he has done that for all of us.
Certainly, most certainly so. Remember that you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. 1 Peter verse 1 through 9. Seek his power to walk in the light.
Hello, and thank you for having me here this morning. No need to adjust your eyes. Yes, my hair is liturgically purple. When I was growing up, I am one of 6 kids. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. When I was growing up, my brothers loved to roughhouse. I think it's a marker of young adolescent boys. They need to get all that pent-up energy out and just do just about anything they can, including knocking out my teeth. So one spring afternoon, my brothers were outside, Donovan, Damian, and Ian. And they were out in the backyard of the apartment complex that we lived in with one of their friends, Justin. They were outside going to play a game that they called Fumbly Rumbly. I don't know if they made that up or if that's the actual name. Pretty much it's the most extreme, most brutal form of football that anyone can imagine. And as I remember it, I wasn't allowed to play because I wear skirts, and that means that I cry. So one afternoon, my grandmother asleep on the couch, my sister and I playing Barbies in the front living room, just in front of her, and all of a sudden we hear a crack. And it's echoing a noise of, "Oh no!" Now, to anyone who has young boys, this may be a very familiar noise. Growing up with my brothers, I knew at any moment one of the 4 was going to come through the door and accuse one of the others of what had just happened. Quickly, the denial sets in. "It wasn't me, it was him. No, he slipped, don't you remember? Oh no, we weren't even near him at the time. My eyes were closed, I don't even know what happened." What that crack was an old post from our swimming pool that we were taking down, cracking in half. And what was done was my youngest brother, who was probably about 8 or 9 at the time, getting thrown into it back first. Denial. It is a force so strong, it captures all of us at one point or another. It's this reoccurring theme of denial that is in movies and TV shows and in our very lives. The first form I thought of when I was writing this sermon was a song from a popular Disney movie. "No chance, no way, I won't say I'm in love." As many of you may know, that's from Hercules. Meg goes on with the muses, singing and denying her love for Hercules. But what about in our daily lives? It's not my fault that it didn't get done. It doesn't even matter. I won't make a difference. It's fine. Now, you know what? I don't even know that person. Heart pounding, palms maybe getting a little clammy, a little shaky, wobbly in the voice. Denial. We hear this week the story of Peter, the rock on which the church will be built, upon, in the midst of an age-old problem of denial. Me? Oh no, you must have me mixed up with somebody else, girl. Peter. Someone that knew Jesus better than just about anybody in that world. Someone that saw Jesus heal the sick, give sight to the blind, restore movement to the lame. And yet at this moment, a moment of weakness, he denies his friend, denies everything that he had ever seen for 3 years. In that moment when it might be unpopular, when he could get cast out, beaten, or even killed, woman, I do not know him. Man, I'm not who you think I am. Man, I do not know what you are talking about. And like that, we so often do with Peter. We hear ourselves saying, Peter, what are you doing? But we also hear the echoes of our own voices doing the same. Heart pounding, palms maybe getting a little clammy, voice wavering. Denial. Because all of us get pulled in by its wiry grasp. So, back to my brothers. I'm sitting there and I look up at 3 boys as they're fighting over who actually hurt Ian. My little brother is sitting there crying, just asking for help. Just asking for somebody to please help him because it hurts so much. My grandmother threw the older 3 boys into a bedroom, called my mother. My mother came home to pick up my little brother, Ian, shoveled him into the back of the car, went to the ER to find out that he had broken his collarbone in quite a few places. And of course, time alone with Mom meant little brother was going to tattletale. He didn't slip on anything. Now, I have seen the wrath of my mother. Zach has seen the wrath of my mother. I've seen it quite a few times, and even now I'm starting to get a little scared. It's nothing like I saw that day. You know, usually it's like fire and brimstone, and you better move out of the way. My mom purposefully named every one of her 6 children with the last in so that we would all come running, and then find out quickly it was probably Damien and go running the other way. But this time, my mom was surprisingly calm. I was just sitting there, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get in trouble. No. She whipped open the door that now only had 2 boys in it because Justin quickly fled. My mother asked, all right, which one of you did it? My brother Damien quickly opened his mouth. My mom looked him dead in the eyes and said, if it's not truth, I don't want to hear it. No, Mom. It was me. I'm sorry. And in an instant, he knew no amount of denying could get him out of what he had done. No amount of denying could separate him from what he had seen. No amount of denying could separate him from God. He knows, Peter that is, because Jesus told him at the Last Supper, before the rooster crows today, you will deny me 3 times. Peter, it's going to happen. I know. We are so much more like Peter than we like to admit sometimes. Peter is stubborn. Peter is foolhardy. Peter denies Jesus right when he needs him. But as we know, Peter goes on to become the very rock the church is built on. We are more like Peter than we like to admit at times. My brother denies it, yet he did hurt my brother. Meg did love Hercules, if you've seen the movie. Those bits of denial I stated at the beginning, they are not the whole story. It's not my fault that it didn't get done. When we know in our heart of hearts we probably could have done it. It doesn't matter, I don't make a difference. When we know, even if we touch one life in the course of the day, we've made a difference in somebody's life. Now, I don't even know that person. When you've known them, worked with them, seen them do wonderful and miraculous things for 3 years. Oh, Peter, what are you doing? Maybe we say this because we can see ourselves do the same thing. We can see ourselves jumping out of the boat. We can see ourselves questioning Jesus' words. We can see ourselves in the midst of denial, but we can also see ourselves spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. We can see ourselves in the words and actions of Peter every day. And next time you hear about Peter, think about him. Peter would go on to do wonderful things because of his faith, because he, just like all of us, is forgiven every single day by God. No amount of denying can separate us from the love that is given to us by God at the time of our baptism. No amount of denying can take any of that away, for we are forgiven children of God. Let us pray. God, be with us at our crossroads. Be with us when we can't understand your will. Be with us when we can joyously spread your gospel and when we don't think we can be effective. May our words and actions show those around us your marvelous light. Amen.